podcast is a member of WildGamesProductions.com and D20Radio.com.
First there was the original.
I thought it might be nice for kids. Keep them off the street, you know.
Then the basic.
This is a simple game.
Then the first version of the advanced.
Good, clean, wholesome fun.
Now the hammer comes down. Welcome to THACO's Hammer, the best damn second edition AD&D podcast ever. How you doing, folks? DM Glen here. We're back with THACO's Hammer, the 2E program, the best 2E program out there on the ether.
And don't you ever forget it.
No, and that voice, you know him as DM Brian.
That be me. Good evening.
DM Brian, and of course, still going to be away a little bit. So we got DM Crispy again. Hey, Crisp.
What's up?
What's up? Oh, not a whole heck of a lot. We'll find out in a few things. We got some good stuff lined up for the show today, and so why don't we just get into it in hits and crits?
What do you feel like doing tonight?
I don't know, Ange. What do you feel like doing?
Well, we ought to do something. It's Saturday night. I don't want to go bowling like last Saturday. Oh, what do you feel like doing tonight?
I don't know, Ange. What do you feel like doing?
Hits and crits. Hits and crits. Who wants to go first? What'd you do this week?
Oh, well, I'll start off because mine's the easiest.
Sure.
I've actually kind of taken a break. I'm looking at a character that I just converted. That's like the last D&D thing I did. It was basically this dual class, very high level character, like 13th level fighter, 14th level martial artist. And it took me a hell of a long time, and now I have to do his twin sister. Well, not literally. I have to convert. Oh God, even that sounds bad. I convert the character who is this one's twin sister, who's like a 15th level martial artist, and I was like, you know what? I need to take a break. I'm starting to burn out a little bit, so I
You're
just
a
kind of
madman.
Yeah.
You're a madman.
But yeah, I just throttled back, and I've just been feeding my latest addiction, which is virtual pinball.
Ooh, a 2E madman and pinball on the side. Nice.
Yeah.
How about you, Crispy? What you been doing?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Well,
Nothing.
in this kind of heat and weather, I can understand that. How hot is it there right now?
It's like 100, but it's rainy.
Ooh, yuck.
Rain 100 and it's raining.
Hey, it happens sometimes in the desert, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought that when it rained in the desert, the temperature dropped by about 20 degrees, but then it would go right back up.
Yeah, that puts it at about 100.
Wow. Wow.
I can understand that. We're at 102 right now. The other day we hit 119 here in Oklahoma, but unbelievably.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, me, what did I do? Not a whole heck of a lot. I've been playing around with the Marvel game again, and trying to get my grandson. We're getting ready to take the vacation stuff, so I'm getting them ready for well. I'll be back by the time you guys hear this. So
you're actually gonna run stuff with your grandson while you're on vacation?
Maybe over in California, if we're not, if they're too busy not doing stuff like running around, to the beach and all that kind of stuff. So I just got a few things prepped and take a few books with me. That's about it. I'm not going to really push it. And my dice bag, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I did get one. I did get something.
What's that?
I bought the Hackmaster Game Master Shield.
Oh, really?
Flip City. I kid you not. And you Hackmaster fans know what I'm talking about. I mean, this thing will open, and it's like that old Buster Keaton sketch where he opens the paper and it just keeps opening and opening and opening and opening.
And you're just wondering where it's coming from?
Yeah. I mean,
will it ever stop?
Yeah. See, Hackmaster has 8 books that comprise their monster manual.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Of beats. And they have the name and EAT value of every single monster in all 8 books in that screen. I mean, I'm hoping I can still read it with my glasses. Not to mention the pizza topping matrix. So,
pizza topping matrix?
Yeah, that to figure out what you guys want on your pizza when you order it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Seriously?
Which, yeah.
I should not. Then again, this is Hackmaster. I shouldn't even doubt it.
I'm not going to be using it because I'll eat any topping as long as it's pepperoni. So, and I've learned long ago not to, even if it's a game, try not to order pizza by committee. It never works.
I agree.
Out. It never works out.
No, it never does. Everybody should order what they're going to eat and try not to split it all equally. Just everybody gets their own thing.
That's right. Well, anyway, do we have any email?
We actually have a voicemail.
We do.
Yes, we do. This was sent by, what is his name? Let me go back to the inbox real quick.
The Unknown Gamer.
Yeah, with a paper bag over his head.
Yes.
Okay. Since it doesn't have a name, I'm just gonna play it. And here we go.
Hi, I just heard some comments about people hating second edition. So I just want to say my take on it. I don't understand the hatred towards second edition. It's very compatible with first edition. In my mind, first edition is great. But I love second edition because first edition was the original that never expected to grow so big. Second edition was just first edition cleaned up in my mind. The designers could not foresee the array of expansion ideas, the new character classes, and how they would interact and such. I don't think there's any second edition lovers that bash first edition. First edition is where it all started. Second edition players might pick out certain parts that the game was out of balance. Meaning second edition players would probably pick out things from first edition that were out of balance. But it was not bashing the game. I think everyone that played second edition loved first edition. I think second edition players understood the fact that first edition is where it all started. The whole concept of pen and paper RPGs was new at that point. My players back in the day would actually ask me, what's the difference between first and second edition? And I would say the first edition is where it began, so many ideas came out. Second edition is where they organized it all and clarified it. Here are the reasons why I love second edition. I think second edition gave more love to the classic monsters. Second edition had a great basic system. You could put 3 books, and within the 3 books, you had optional rules. You can use or not use, but you still, no matter if you use or didn't use it, you still felt like you're playing D&D. The only thing that I found that was a big difference in first and second was, and this was controversial at the time, they took out demons and devils. Personally, I like they took out demons and devils. I like when I tell my players that certain monsters appearing or certain monsters coming from a certain area or something like that. Just the name brought fear and respect of what it was. I find demons and devils doesn't do that because they don't know what it is. There's a lot of monsters in D&D manuals that you say the name and it brings fear. They don't even know quite what it does in D&D terms. The fact that I like the reason that classic monsters seem to be more in the forefront of the D&D second edition. The thing is, if you did like demons and devils, you could put them in second edition. There was no one stopping you. For me personally, I would put vampires. I actually really liked that dragons felt like the top of the heap when it came to second edition. That's why it's called Dungeons & Dragons in my mind. I love dragons, so that's another reason why I loved it. Besides, here's the thing about boils my entire talk about down, is didn't we all buy Dragon magazines and change the game to suit a way we like to play? Didn't we all as DMs say, well, we like this, we don't like this? So first and second edition, there's no reason to bash between the two. There's no reason to even argue between the two that much. There's reason to discuss the differences and point out things we like and we don't like, but there's no reason to be hating on either one. I'm mostly called to say, keep up the great work. I hope you guys keep the show going on for a long time. I love it. I have one question. What episode did you guys talk about gaming tables? Thank you. My name is Keith, and you can get back to me at Keith. Just get back to me at keithhaddad@hotmail.com. That's KEITHHADDAD @hotmail.com. Anyway, keep up the great work, guys. Bye.
He's pretty much right on the stuff. It is more clarified than first edition, and we couldn't agree with you more. What do you think?
Yeah, that's basically the reason why I made the switch from first to second, is because I was scoffing at it back when I was a dyed in the wool 1E player, and then I actually was convinced to sit down and play in a second edition game, and I'm like, wow, this is a lot faster. This works a little better. I'm convinced. Okay, and just like I've said before, I sold my comic collection, started buying 2 ebooks. So,
the comic book guy's having a heart attack right now.
Oh, well, I was running out of space to hold on to them anyway. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you for that email.
Yes, thank you very much, Kevin.
And anybody else who wants to send us any voicemails or emails, the email address is thacoshammer@gmail.com. And the voicemail is?
Voicemail is 405-806-0555.
Phantasmic. There goes the tongue again.
Phantasmagoria.
Thank you. Thank you, old Crispy.
Welcome to the world of your nightmares.
Let's go in the book. Oh, Lord.
You ever go to school, stupid?
Yeah, and I come out the same way.
Is that your idea of an idea?
It's in the book.
It's in the book. Okay, we got a doozy this week. Weapon speed and initiative. Weapon speed and initiative.
Yes.
You'll find that in the DMG, page 57 in the first printing, and
55.
page 80. Yes, 55 and 81 in the black second printing of the second edition, which is where I found it. Okay, let's basically break this down. Let's complicate the game a little. No, seriously. These,
all right, Glenn.
Of course, these are optional rules.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. And we're going to be nice about it. And Brian.
Okay, I'll take it.
I don't know what to say.
I don't. We don't need you to get verklempt. I'll take it. Okay.
Right. It's like brain clamp.
Yeah, exactly. You can't quite get it to work right. Okay. With the advent of second edition, they decided to go from using a D6 to a D10 to determine initiative. Now, originally. And the game works fine if you do this. Each number going up to 10 represented like one, basically like one segment in the round. And from what I understand, at least in the beginning, each segment was 6 seconds because, one combat round was 1 minute. Then they changed that around a little bit. Of course, weapon speed is nothing new. It was first edition. That's a good one. It was first introduced. Yeah, now you got me doing it. It was first introduced in first edition. Wow, try to get that out straight.
Was that an Unearthed Arcana thing?
That's a good question. I would probably say yes. I think it was introduced in Unearthed Arcana, but I'd have to go over to my bookcase and pull out Unearthed just to make sure.
Okay.
But basically what it was is that the whole thing was that bare hands were the fastest weapons available, going all the way up into certain pole arms, which had like weapon speeds of like 13 or something like that. But with second edition, basically each weapon has a weapon speed, and you would add that in with your initiative roll.
Both sides would?
Yeah, both. Well, with the other sides, I think it was more streamlined for the DM. I think it was based more on the monster size, although if you wanted to do it for, like, say, orcs and goblins for whatever weapons they were using, you could easily adapt that.
Right.
But basically because monsters had an initiative modifier according to their size, ranging from, actually, if you were like tiny size, you actually got a bonus, I think, ranging all the way up to like gargantuan size, which I think is like a plus 12.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, if you're a venturing party going up against a dragon, more often than not, everybody would get their shot in on the dragon before the dragon decided to breathe and kill everybody. So, with the weapon speeds, like I said, bare hands were a speed factor of 1, which was like the fastest thing, non-magical weapon there is, of course. Right. And daggers were like a 2. Long swords are like a 5, short swords are a 3, going all the way up in, like I said, into pole arms, which were like 10 and higher in some cases. Mm-hmm. So basically, when you rolled your initiative, you would just add your weapon speed factor, and that was the number you went on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So basically, it was just so that everybody kind of knew when they would go in the combat round.
Right. See, my gripe about it is not really that it makes it messes up, it makes you a longer initiative. Mm. My gripe was the fact that, here's something else I have to keep track of.
Mm. Well, Glenn, you are more of, you like basic, and basic is exactly that. And especially when it comes to combat initiative, you just roll a d6 and then you go. So, it's sort of like trying to go from, we are driving a car in first gear, and when it comes time to shift, you have to, instead of going to second gear, you go to like fourth.
Yeah. So, I've also, taking that into account, mm-hmm. I also tend to like to run a streamlined 2E too.
Mm-hmm.
And this to me is kind of counterintuitive.
And weapon speed it's an optional thing anyways.
Yes, it says optional rule right there. Mm-hmm. What I find interesting is the description says, each time a character swings a weapon, he places himself out of position to make his next attack. Swinging a hammer is not as simple as tapping a nail. Warhammer is heavy. And that's what the whole weapon speed thing is all about. You're taking a swing, and you go, okay, I got to replant my feet and do it again.
Right. So, and basically, to me, it was like, to me, it just made a little bit more. It made it a little bit more sense because, I couldn't see somebody wielding a two-handed sword, going first before somebody, say, with a dagger.
Right.
So it's just one of those little bits of realism they try to inject into the game. But the good thing is that they decided to make it optional.
Yeah.
For people who just didn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just want to get on with it,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. What I find interesting is how they handled that kind of thing about, readying yourself to take another swing, because they do it by weapon speed. I think when I was playing, I can't remember if it was Fantasy Hero or I think it was GURPS Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
They had a rule there except for like certain magical weapons, you could only hit something every other turn. Because you would take a swing and this next turn was readying for the next swing.
Oh, right. I get it.
And it's like, if between those two, I'll take the weapon speed here.
Right.
Because that's even worse.
No, I agree. I mean, that would be frustrating.
You know how long battles would take?
Yeah, exactly.
Just by doing that?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
No, I agree.
You ever use it, Crispy?
Ever use weapon speed? No.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't like it. I've never liked it, like, even in first edition.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame you.
Like, because I play Basic and Pathfinder. In Pathfinder, there's already enough stuff that will make you go faster in combat.
Right.
So it's a little more streamlined.
And it goes without saying the Labyrinth Lord wouldn't have that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could
yeah,
bring
that's
it in,
true.
like-
They didn't include that even in the advanced set.
Yep, even in the advanced condition or advanced edition companion condition.
Wow. We're just all tripping over our tongues tonight. Jeez.
It wasn't in there.
Now, Brian, I
Yes.
take it you use weapon speed.
Oh yeah, I do. I make it more of a requirement.
Right out of the book?
No,
Or-
well, the way I did it, it's more or less out of the book. Although I've been toying with the idea ever since I played 3rd edition, where they have static initiative. You basically roll it once, and that's when you go in each combat round. I've been toying with that idea, although I don't know if I'm actually going to, introduce it in a 2nd edition. But yeah, I use it, and aside from the grumbling the players get when they roll 9s and 10s,
yes.
I mean, and there's always the joke when somebody's got like a bastard sword or a 2-handed sword or a bow or crossbow or whatever, and they roll a 10. It's like, oh, you're going next year.
Yeah.
Hey, and then when it's their turn, oh, next year's here. Happy New Year. It's your turn. So, I mean, I've never had any complaints about it, really.
Yeah, and this is one of those. Again, this is one of those hot spot rules in D&D that you can practically go on any gaming board and find somebody who has something to say about it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Pro and con.
I've
so
seen it.
so why don't you folks tell us about it? I mean, osrgaming.org, thacoshammer@gmail.com, our phone line, D20 Radio for that matter.
Yes.
And let us not forget purpleworm.org.
Purpleworm.
Good people at purpleworm.org who has given us a sub-forum now.
Yes,
there.
they have.
Yes, they have.
And thank you to Northwest for doing that.
Yes, thank you, Northwest. And go ahead and leave your opinion on that there. And anyway, tell us all about your weapon speed foibles. You like it, you hate it, whatever, at those venues. And now, Rule 0.
One would think you've been doing this all your life.
We'll remember you said that.
I know. I'm sure you hate me just enough.
Rule 0.
Okay, Rule 0. We're going to continue our series here on creating characters calling Hold Cloth Creating Characters. Part 2, the stats. What do we have so far? What do we have? A guy with a pickle nose who's psycho.
Yeah, he's out there. And because of his pickle nose, he is always made fun of as a child.
Okay.
So.
Okay. At this point, we would commence with the rolling, right?
And I hear dice rattling in the background. Yes.
Oh boy. I mean, like I said, if you guys one of you want to roll this, I don't have to roll it.
No, you can roll it. Oh, you got it.
You got it. Okay. Let me talk a little bit about this first. Dice rolling. There are 6. I mean, there's 1 method and 5 alternative dice rolling methods in 2nd edition.
Yes, there are.
And briefly, the first one is to roll 3 6-sided dice right down the row there, strength, dex, blah, 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 and assign them.
That's what I'm doing.
Method, roll 3d6 twice, notes the total of each roll, use whichever one you prefer. Method 3 is roll 3d6 6 times and jot down the total for each roll. Method 4, roll 3d6 12 times and jot down all 12 totals. Choose the 6 rolls and assign them. Method 5, which is probably the most common method I've seen. Roll 4 6-sided dice and drop the lowest and assign them where you want. And method 6, this method can be used if you want to have some specific assign points.
Yes.
I
think everybody starts at 8.
8, and you roll. You roll 8 and then roll 7 dice. These dice can be added to your character's abilities as you wish. It's interesting. I guess it is points to a certain extent. I was thinking of like when you go in the RPGA, everything starts at 8 and they give you X amount of points.
Right.
To assign. But this is kind of the same way. You're just rolling dice again.
Mm-hmm.
So out of the 6 methods, we are doing what?
How about, you know what?
Oh, Chris,
let's compromise.
I'm asking Crispy, what did you say you were doing?
I was just going to do the first method, just assign them in order.
3d6 straight down the line?
Straight down the line? Okay. I'll go for that. I'm of the 4d6 method, but that's since we're
I
doing
usually like 46, but
This will be interesting to see what we come up with.
Okay.
I got 13, 14, 18,
What?
13, 11,
Wow.
10.
So that's 13 strength, 14 dex, 18 con. Wow. You have some good dice, Crispy. Wow. For 3d6 straight down the line, that's outstanding.
I had total confidence in him to pull out.
13 intelligence, 11 wisdom, and 10 charisma.
Wow, this character could be pretty much... You know what? I think he could almost be a ranger. I think he qualifies.
Why don't you write that down with Ranger ?
Okay, got it.
And then you go into the things like hit point adjustments and things like that. But we haven't got to the hit points yet. That's next time.
Yeah, or choosing a race, then choosing a class. No, he doesn't qualify as a ranger. His wisdom's too low. But
oh well,
that's pretty good. Still,
that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Now about stats. What?
Oh,
did you say something?
I was going to suggest.
Yes.
Since, just as a method of curiosity, why don't we each take a method and generate a character that way?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, we can have like 3 sets of stats right there, and
and Crispy's method 1.
Then on a later show we can pick one set.
Sure.
How's that sound?
That's perfectly fine with me. Okay, which method would you want to use?
I will go straight method 4. Roll 4d6.
46, drop 1.
Yeah, I'm sorry, method 5. Roll 4d6 and drop the lowest.
Okay, no problem.
All right, and assign them wherever the hell. So just write them down in a row, and we'll figure it out. Just note assign wherever.
Got it.
All right. 7.
Okay, 7.
It's going to be a loser already.
Oh, now.
7.
Wow. Okay.
14.
That's a little better.
Yeah. 13.
That's better.
12.
12.
And one more for... Come on, baby needs a new pair of shoes. 9.
9.
Ooh, just above average.
Mm-hmm.
Stan, what method are you going to use, Brian?
Oh, let's see now. I'm going to use method... Oh, goodness gracious. There it is. I'm going to use method 2.
Okay, which one is that?
That's rolling 3d6 twice, noting the total of each.
And pick?
Yeah. Let me just pull something up real quick, and then... Oh, don't you do this to me.
Would you like me to roll it for you, and you can...
Oh, no, I've got it.
Okay.
Wait a
Well, I guess we'll talk about chili peppers or something.
They burn your gut, remember?
That's right. That's right. I'm glad I'm not rolling chili peppers.
that would have been, well, probably would have all been high because the high acid content.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's smart ass.
Hey, you brought up chili peppers. I'm just trying to, keep the mojo going till I get my dice out.
Crispy's got all our mojo. He puts it in a corner until the show's over.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got my...
Which pales in comparison to his mojo, which is this giant mountain of mojo.
I've lost my mojo.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know. I hate it too, but that part's funny.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm rolling dice right now, so here we go.
Okay.
You won't believe this.
What?
Off the bat, 18.
18?
Yes.
Do you want to roll again? Do you really want to roll?
Hell no. Hells no.
Well, just roll again because we know you're going to pick the 18.
Of course I am. What in the... You're not going to believe that either. I am not lying about it. No, 18 again.
Okay.
I haven't... now, understand something. I haven't rolled these dice in character generation, I would say probably... I'd say at least 3 years, if not longer. To roll 2 18s off the bat, that is shocking.
Crispy.
All right, 11.
Crispy, what do you think? The microwave trick?
I think so.
No.
Yeah.
I think Brian's cheating, so he can fill his
Oh,
place.
no.
Yeah.
I'm hurt. I'm really
From what I've heard,
hurt by that.
Brian is like he hates player characters. That's the impression I've got. Every time it comes up, Brian is just like, player characters, I'll get you next time.
Curse you all! I will destroy you!
That Corey, however.
Careful, you might go into
Corey, I think is
Skeletor.
the nicest DM that I've ever heard of.
No, there's a difference. I may hate player characters, Corey likes maiming them. There's the difference. Okay, Constitution.
Careful, you
11.
might go into Skeletor. 11?
Second roll.
Okay.
7. See?
7.
Yeah. Intelligence. 11. Wow, there's a lot of 11s. And second roll for it is 9. Okay. Wisdom. 11. Horribly consistent, my dice, yes. Second roll is 5. And charisma, last one. Started out good, but then became painfully average, 11.
Okay, so write them down, and
got it. And 7. So, yeah, this is funny. This is really funny. So basically, my character's gonna be 18 and a bunch of 11s.
Okay.
Oh, you got 2 18s.
No, yeah, on the same roll. For the second roll for strength, it was another 18. That's why I'm sitting there and my jaw just hit my keyboard for a second. I'm like, really?
Well, like
THACO's hammer doesn't condone the actions of Brian Caraway.
Oh, hey, now.
Sorry.
With that method, Brian, do you put them in order or do you assign?
Yeah, you have to put them in order.
Well, you guys want to roll the percentile for?
Sure, I can do that.
Exceptional strength.
Got a couple percentile? Roll them out.
Oh yeah, I've got plenty. I got plenty of dice for that. Let me pull them out. The black with the red numbering.
This is probably the first controversy that anybody who going on a gaming board for the first time will run into.
You'll never believe what I rolled.
100?
No.
18?
11.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That sucks.
Hey, so yeah. Well, actually, you know what? I'll do another one for the second roll.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
We'll do the same thing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No. If I roll another 11, I'll throw these dice across the room. I'll grind them up in my garbage disposal
to make your bread.
Yeah, to make my bread.
What, you're not going to put them in the freezer and freeze it and smash it with a hammer?
No. Okay, and the second roll is a 31, so I'll probably take that.
Okay.
So
put those down, and we will continue that next time for our made-up character here, just to see how you do it, just to show people how you do it and talk about it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you can comment on this wonderful little series we got on here at thacoshammer@gmail.com.
I like this. This is fun.
This is fun.
Yes.
Okay. Have we decided what class we're going to make them, or
nope.
That will be next week?
All right.
Yeah, we've ground the show to a stop, but it's fun.
Of course.
Of course.
We're doing it one step at a time. Like, oh no, someone has to listen to us make a character for 10 minutes.
Oh god,
their day is ruined.
Yeah. The horror. Yeah.
Horror. Okay. Come on, guys. Let's go. Magic figures.
Let's.
Eeny, meeny, chili beany, the spirits are about to speak.
Well, it just so happens that your friend here is only mostly dead.
Sounds like a lot of supernatural baloney to me.
Supernatural, perhaps. Baloney, perhaps not.
Magic fingers.
Okay, magic fingers. Gauntlets of ogre power. Ugh!
Yes.
We just talked about this not too long ago on RFI.
Did we?
Because I'm just on everyone's podcast nowadays.
You are the utility player.
I guess so. Like
left field, right field, third base, second base.
I thought he came on all these shows to like psychoanalyze everybody.
It's true.
No.
You're a man child. Brian, you're cool.
Oh well, thank you.
Corey, we haven't figured out yet.
Corey's cool.
Is he?
Really just Glenn.
He just likes removing limbs a little much. That's all.
A macho guy.
Yes, he is.
But okay, Gauntlets of Ochre Power, and this
Can't
is
say anything bad about Brian, or not Brian, about Corey, because he'll come and beat me up with a longsword.
Yeah, he's.
Let's just hope the edges are dulled.
Yeah. Okay. Gauntlets of Ochre Power. That is on page what of the DMG?
Oh well, I didn't use the DMG. I used the Encyclopedia Magica. That would be, if I can look
Ain't you hot?
It's just the easiest thing to do. That would be page 507. That's volume 2.
507.
And I'm in the DMG.
Which one? First printing or?
First printing.
Okay, I'm looking up second printing.
Oh, where's my DMG? Darn it. Okay, I can pull that up real quick.
There's the Gem of Scene.
Gem of Scene. You're almost there. Actually, you went too far.
Oh, page 169.
Okay.
Of the book, and I don't know if you guys can hear that.
No, it's page 169 of the DMG.
First
Sounds
printing.
good.
Yes, first printing. That works for me.
Sounds good.
Yep, sounds good to me.
So what does this bad boy do here?
Okay, these are basically a pair of gauntlets that can be, they magically size themselves to fit any creature from human size to halfling. Nice. And when you put them on, now this is a point of debate for me, but what the actual listing says is that it gives you a strength rating of 18 double aught in your hands, arms, and shoulders.
Nice.
And of course, when you're using them in combat, because you have an 18 double aught strength now, you have a +3 to attack rolls and +6 to damage.
Boy, can you lift those bars and
bend
those grates.
Bend those grates.
What's that? A locked door? Move aside.
Just ball up a fist and just punch it really, really hard.
Balls to the
1 in 6 chance of doors being stuck. My ass.
Watch this.
And this has been around since forever. It seems like.
I think this goes all the way back to the original. D&D?
Oh yeah,
pretty sure.
That's a classic. It really
Excuse me, you seem to have dropped your horse. Let me get that for you.
Just lift the horse up.
That's better than my wand of magic missiles.
Well, you see,
pew pew pew.
Just for sake of brevity and to make it just to make it just a smooth thing. Whenever in my campaigns, whenever somebody finds a pair of these, they just get an 18 double aught strength. I just give it to them. I don't care.
Yeah, like I don't know why. Like it seems weird to me that it had to specify where you get that strength. When we were talking about it on RFI. So by the time this comes out, that episode has been out for a little bit. But
I'm sure.
You get this. Superman used to have a superpower where he projected a telekinetic force over whatever he was using his super strength on. It's the reason why he can grab a car by the bumper and lift it up.
Or lift up entire tectonic plates.
Or grab a plane by the wing to stop it without it breaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because of that. So players they get that if they have Gauntlets of Overpower.
I agree.
Yeah.
And
you could do all the Popeye shtick, you know.
Yeah,
absolutely. One of the other things.
What do you do?
Wow.
Any chance to do Popeye, I love it. Well, what do you know? Anyway.
But what I was saying, I call this, along with a girdle of giant strength, the fighter's best friend, because every character that I've ever either run or played, this is one of the things that is the most important, aside from a really good set of armor and a really good sword.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's probably one of the. I think that's one of the first major magical items that a newbie party will find. It may take a few sessions or a few, nights, but that's usually one of the first things they hand out.
Mhm.
That, or like I said, a wand of magic missiles, a girdle of giant strength, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Bag de la holding.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Well, in my games, usually it's a bag of holding. Yes, that's like the first major one I'll give out.
I just want to get out a diaper of holding.
Oh, jeez, Glenn. Really?
Glenn, he has like the weirdest of holding things. Hat holding, diaper holding, tauntaun of holding,
yes,
and eternal warmth.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, but
pockets of brevity.
Yeah, pockets of
brevity.
Yeah, you can't fit anything inside them.
Pockets of levity, they float you in the air. Anyway,
anyway,
where were we? Gauntlets of Ogre?
Yes, yes, that's where we were. Usually my whole thing is as a DM, usually, especially with veteran players, that they're playing fighter characters that only have like an average strength. This is one of the first things they start begging me for.
Right.
And I'm like, one of my DM rules, and I'm going to have to start writing these down, sort of like Gibbs's rules on NCIS. One of my rules is the more you beg for it, the less likely you are to get it.
Yeah, I have that rule too.
Well, that's typical parent psychology with kids too.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you ask me for it, I'm not going to give it to you.
Well, I think, and I'm gonna go on a limb and say, I think Brian and I are on the same page with magic items are special. If I give you a magic item, you should be like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, we're like Smith Barney. You don't get your magic items. You earn them.
Well, I like to give them out as here, I think you can use this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do that too. Where if I just try to keep the needs of the party in mind when I'm generating treasure troves and whatnot.
Well, I think magic items are special too, and they shouldn't always be handed out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to fall in line with you guys here. So,
well, I think the reason why I did this was because, before I start this minor rant, I'm not edition bashing. I will make that perfectly clear right now. But when I used to...
Brian's Confessions is brought to you by...
This isn't Brian. Oh, all right. I'll make it Brian's Confessions. What
the
the
U.S. Steel Hour, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, and listeners like you.
Yes, you can send your money to... Anyway. God only knows I could use it. But with Girdles of Giant Strength and Gauntlets of Ogre Power, when I was running first edition, when the Unearthed Arcana came out, now one of the biggest bugaboos I've ever had about first edition was the level limits for demi-humans, by far. And I got into some really bad knockdown, drag-out arguments on Dragon's Foot about them, especially when I first started going on there, 4 years ago. When that came out, when Unearthed Arcana came out in 1985, they had a more in-depth listing of demi-human level limits. Right. And the only problem is that the prime requisite for these classes had, they had 16, 17, 18, and they had different level limits pertaining to them. But when it started getting up into 18, 19, 20, and of course it would continue like that. Mm-hmm. My whole thing is that with fighters, if you had Gauntlets of Ogre Power, or if you had a Girdle of Giant Strength, you would be able to attain those level limits. And I remember saying that, and somebody came back at me and said, no man, you're wrong. You don't do it like that. You don't get a 21 strength for having a Girdle of Giant Strength, man. They got to have 50 million wishes in order to get their stat up that high before they can get that level limit. I'm like, really? Really? So,
does a giant have that strength? Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, it's a girdle of giant strength.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a girdle of, hey, you're a really strong guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you can hit people harder.
Yeah.
It's magic.
Yep. And that alters your character, and when involved with that, and then you would have these. You would just have, you would just be able to attain those higher level limits, and as a result, yeah, this is Brian's confessions now. In the games I was playing back in the mid 80s and going into late 80s, the first editions games I was playing in, there were, girls of giant strength and gauntlets of ogre power flying around like copper pieces, and I'm not lying. I don't exaggerate about that.
That's not good.
Because
that'll be 3 gauntlets of giant strength.
Exactly.
Ogre power.
Because if you wanted to run an elven fighter in first edition, the highest level you could attain was 7th.
Was it 7? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you had I thought there was a rule that if you had X strength, you could get up to level 8.
Yeah, that's when Unearthed Arcana came out, and the higher the strength you had, the higher level limit you could obtain.
Mm-hmm. This is a tangent, but since I can mention Rule Cyclopedia on this show,
yeah.
Take that, Vince.
Oh, by the way, that's off limits now, Crispy. Vince said so.
Oh, I guess you'll have to bleep me out.
Oh
no, I will not.
Oh my god. Okay.
Anyway,
this is the sound of me biting my lip.
But now we're getting off at a tangent. But what I'm saying is, in Rule Cyclopedia,
yes,
they do have level caps for demi-humans also.
Yes.
But they said there's no reason why you can't make them go higher or even as high as human. But then they turn around and say, well, you should probably take away their special abilities too, 1 or 2 or all of them.
Why?
They do that do we do that in I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's oh, well, then it'll be unbalanced.
Well,
what's this word balance I hear?
It's why play a human? I can be an elf, and I get all these cool detection abilities, and I don't have to sleep.
But I still can't. I still can't see taking away the special abilities.
I wouldn't.
Humans get nothing.
Oh, yeah, whatever. My whole thing is
elves gain this stuff for free.
Mm-hmm. And to me, it's ridiculous. This goes back to the argument about how when Gary was writing the game, he wanted it to be humanocentric.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you know what? That's just complete and utter BS. Because the abilities that each of the demi-human races get, in the grand scheme of things, especially when the game gets up to where everybody's at least say 15th level, when it's up that high, what they have almost doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah. I mean, at that point, you are known as a great fighter, not a great dwarven fighter who can, detect stonework traps or whatever.
Anyway, tangent over. Let's get back to ogre power.
But I want to talk about this more because I have a counterpoint.
Okay, folks.
We can go for a minute.
Yeah, I see the point there, but then I can see. Hold on, Glenn. Shut up.
I'm sorry. It's just I can do this. Okay, now.
Friggin' man-child. God, laughing.
Oh man, jeez.
Gary, I think the point with the humanocentric world is that we're not elves. Humans are the easiest thing to relate to and design a world around.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of work off the DM if you have a human-based world with all these little fantastical extras instead of a fantastical world with all these little mundane extras.
I agree.
True.
I agree. I mean, I think that it was one of the things they addressed when they went to 3rd edition because humans got a little rub, But to me, it's who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's less about the abilities that each race gets as opposed to what the player's going to do with that character. That's all I care about as a DM.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me.
Okay then.
I mean, we could go on about this for a long time because this is one of my major bugaboos about the quote unquote edition wars, but I'm not going to do it.
You guys tell us about how you deal with Gauntlets of Ogre Power, whether or not they mess with demi-human level caps or not. At THACOshammer@gmail.com.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
And if you want to tell Crispy he's doing a good job and you support him in that view, you just go right ahead. Mm-hmm. Don't forget osrgaming.org and purpleworm.org and all the other places.
Yes.
Okay, please let us go into a snipe hunt.
If you only had a living brain.
What do you think? Escaped gorilla?
Listen, you're making enough noise to wake up the dead.
I don't have to wake him up. He's up.
It's time for a snipe hunt.
Snipe hunt, the helmed horror.
Yes. Yes.
Horror.
It's a totally different monster, Glenn.
Yes.
Well, where you live, Crispy, you'd have to go out of town for that. Anyway, I
gotta go up to Pahrump.
Oh, Crispy.
This is where it is.
You don't need to out yourself.
This is what's known on TV tropes. We call this a canon immigrant. This is one. This is a monster that started in the Forgotten Realms campaign.
Yes.
Which doesn't mean you can't use it for any campaign for all the good. It's kind of like Death Knights. You know how they started in the realms, and then it's like, hey, this is cool. You can't just keep it in the realms.
Okay. I won't correct you on that. I won't get technical. But go ahead.
Well, it's considered from the realms anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Now these are monsters that it says once found as guardians, these sinister automatons usually appear as warriors completely clad in plate mail.
Mm-hmm.
A horror is merely animated empty armor linked by magical forces.
Yes.
The secret process of creating a helmed horror, so far known only to priests of Bane, results in silent, intelligent, wholly evil guardians capable of independent reasoning. So it's the destroyer armor from Asgard.
I was going to say the Terminator, but...
Oh, the Terminator too. Yeah. I mean, I've seen, this is your standard, like, enchanted suit of plate mail.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It's one of those kind of fantastical guardians. I like them. I mean, they changed it from the Realms thing that you're quoting
first
from.
Appearing in the module halls of the giant, the High King, halls of the High King.
There you go. There you go. But yeah, these things are excellent guardians for a mage or a priest or everything. And the first time I saw these, the funny part is it wasn't even in D&D. It was oh god, what RPG was it? Now I can't remember.
Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale.
No. Talking further back, but it's okay.
Final Fantasy 1.
Boogie
Not
Nights?
quite that far back. Oh, I know. It was Lufia 2. That's the one.
Where you take a bath?
No, that's Lufa, Glenn. Stop that.
Okay.
Are you going to be king of the pirates?
Wow.
No one else is going to get that.
King of the pirate piggies. No one will get that.
It's a One Piece reference.
Oh yeah,
that was a Dora the Explorer reference. But my grandkids will get that. Never mind.
Yeah, we're too old for that now. Me and Crispy don't have kids.
Yeah, you become a grandpa, you learn about all this stuff whether you want to or not.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you were saying.
But
you saw it in Lufia.
Yeah, Lufia. Or basically, you're just running through a dungeon, and basically these suits of armor come out at you and start. You have to fight them. That's the first time I ever saw something similar to this. Until, I'd say probably about 5 or 6 years ago, when I was just going through the monstrous compendiums, and I ran across this little piece of information. But yeah, I mean, they changed it a little bit from the realms to when they put it in one of the compendium annuals. Because basically the stats, I think, are pretty much the same. AC 2, movement 12, it can fly. Hit dice is like 4 + 1 per level of the +1 per level of the creator. So these things can
12.
And they can they can use any weapon.
And what gets me is they have a 13 to 14 intelligence or greater.
Yes,
it's pretty smart.
Yes, absolutely.
Depends on who the intelligence of the creator.
And they can actually see invisible creatures up to 120 feet away, and they have infravision.
Okay, I'm looking at the module right now, and it's interesting. It says armor class as armor usually 2, which means it doesn't have to be plate.
No, it could be almost any suit of armor, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Full plate, field plate if you wanted to. Sure.
Field plate, chain, leather, brigandine, you name it.
A brigandine helmed horror. Wow.
I just like saying brigandine.
Oh, okay. At least you got to it.
And this bad boy nets you 2K for XP.
Yes, 2,000 experience points.
Pretty good.
But the thing is, when you find them, there are like 1 to 20 of them. So usually they're guarding a mage's treasure or something very important to the mage, and well, considering
thinking that these are guardians that would guard a temple.
Yeah.
A regular mage, because you need at least a 7th level priest to make one.
Yes, and but it does require some assistance from a wizard, so you need both. Yeah, I agree with that.
So they're not easy to make. So I'm thinking like a big temple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the thing is that you don't have to be like ridiculously high in level, like when you like if you're making golems. But yeah, I mean, I could see these like as a guarding a temple to goddess of magic, because well, you're going to have wizards and priests on hand, and it would probably be easier to make for them.
I also just read a paragraph here. It says that there are some encountered, this is in the realms, of course, have been encountered as bandits or adventurers. At least one horror Aragus leads a small caravan company operating out of Waterdeep.
Yeah, why am I not surprised by that?
That blows my mind right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's just the imagination. Basically, it's free reign for the DM. It's like, look, these things can be found in almost any situation you can really think of.
If that's the case, it says they're lawful evil, but I'm going to cross that right out if I use it that way. It could be any
right. Yeah, the compendium version is neutral, which actually makes a little bit more sense, at least to me. It does. Mm-hmm.
It does. And also, they also have some things called battle horrors here, which is basically helmed horrors who use spells.
Yes. And they have 3 spells they use: Dimension Door, Blink, which is actually is pretty blinking is pretty nasty if you run it right, and Magic Missile.
Magic Missile, yeah.
Yeah. And these things and those are the ones that are lawful evil, actually.
Right.
The battle horrors. So
okay.
I could see those.
Did you say battle horrors? Sorry. Yeah, okay.
No, those are
battle horrors.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. We'll be good. Okay. Yeah, these are have you ever used them in a game?
No, I haven't used them, but for certain I could certainly use them as, various guardians or even bodyguards for, certain mages. Like in my own campaign world, I could see like in the nation of Galantry, which is basically a nation run by wizards, I could see a mage walking down the street in one of the cities, and he's got either a helmed horror or battle horror as a guard. Yes, personal guard. Mm-hmm.
How about you, Crisp? You ever use them?
Never used them.
Never seen them? Never used them?
I've never even heard of them until today.
Well, really? I'm glad we could expose you to them. In a matter of speaking.
But yes, these are really good for, like I said, personal guards, treasure guards. If you've got the imaginational fortitude, if that's a word, I guess.
And if you don't, why are you a DM?
Point. But yeah, you could find them pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, how would you change them? I mean, already got some with spells here.
Mm-hmm.
How about whipping a magic mouth on one?
That would be funny.
Yes. just off the top of my head.
Just insulting you as it beats the living crap out of you.
Pretty
or
much.
Demanding your money, or you will a helm whore walking up to a party and just in this you're saying, "Stand and deliver." Something like that.
Welcome to Felton's Tower. Please don't touch anything.
Or I'll be forced to kill you.
Yes.
And I wouldn't want that.
So what else we got? What else can we do with these things? No, I'm not going to say the usual, but let's see. Now vampiric, maybe psionics. Yikes!
Did you actually say that word? Isn't that a curse word in your vernacular?
No, I consider all possibilities. I didn't say I was going to use them, but how about a battle horror that has psionics instead of spells?
That would work.
Yeah,
they have the intelligence for it, and psionics basically would run off the intelligence score. So sure,
that would freak the hell out of the players.
Yeah, that would make it. That would change things up.
Oh, dispel magic! What? He's still coming at us? Oh man, my head hurts.
Yeah, psionic blast. Yeah.
Yeah. Right in the head, right into Kabanza. Yeah, like I said, Magic Mouth or a talking one or something like that. And if these things are smart enough, why couldn't they assist a wizard?
They certainly could. I mean, they'd say.
It almost sounds like that one of them could be like an apprentice.
I don't think it would go that far, but I don't.
Well, you got one as you got one as a bandit in the realms, one running a caravan.
Well, yeah, but you know how wacky the realms can get.
Yeah.
That some of the things I've seen in the realms, it's like anything goes. Whatever you can think of, no matter how weird, no matter how out there, it's probably been thought of already.
Oh damn! I thought I had the weird corner on weird.
Oh, I've known weirder than you, Glenn. Trust me.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I've played campaigns under them. So.
Yeah, and the maker instills a set of orders and commands that govern its freedom, behavior, and limitations. They vary considerably from horror to horror, making them merely mechanical guards, while still others seem to be mute but fully functional, intelligent beings. Now that would be fun.
Oh yeah.
Imagine adventuring with something like this. A kindly wizard said, "I want you to go retrieve this item, but you don't have enough manpower. Here, take this helmed horror with you."
Yeah. Here's one of my guards. Take him.
Yeah.
But also combat-wise, one of the things about it, and we should cover, is that magic missiles heal them.
Ah, yes.
Of course, magic missile is like the catch-all. Swiss Army knife weapon, Swiss Army knife
spell,
combat spell, yeah. Because
I have this wonderful idea of sitting around the campfire, and they're going there, and the helmed horror is sitting there with the fighter, and fighter goes, "So, wizard, pay you pretty good?" Nothing. I hear it's gonna rain.
I hope not. I'll rush.
Great role-playing opportunity there. Anyway, Helmed Horror. Helmed Horror, tell us about it, THACOshammer@gmail.com and the other places. Let's go to People Skills.
The face is familiar. It's mine. And so it is.
Oh, yes, of course. It stands out a mile, doesn't it? He's so common.
A little lady comes in here and starts throwing her butt around. What is that supposed to do?
All right, forget I said anything.
Maybe I will.
Well, that's pretty good.
Don't tell me you weren't looking at it.
Well, that's not that bad.
She's giving it right back to you.
People Skills.
People Skills. Oh, here's a good classic, The Wild Mage.
Yeah.
Wild Mage.
Okay, I'm going to say that the first thing I'm going to confess right now, I guess this is another one, making up for lost time, I guess. I've had a bad experience as a DM with wild mages, so just keep that in mind when we talk about it and where my opinions come from.
Okay. Now, wild mages came around, it was before the Tome of Magic.
Was it?
Yes. The little thing called, I think it was a little thing called the Time of Troubles brought about.
Oh, that, yes.
Yes, that's where the wild areas and dead areas of magic came from.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the wild mages came from, if I'm recalling. And I think they were in the box set. No, they weren't in the box set. I think they were in the Forgotten Realms Adventures book.
Yep.
And then when they put out Tome of Magic, they made it as a class that anybody could use in any campaigns. Not that people wouldn't steal it anyway, but...
Well, I'm looking at the description in the Tome of Magic. They basically said it was initially discovered and researched on Toril The art of wild magic quickly spread to other places. Wild mages through teleporting, spell jamming, planar hopping, and even walking carried the precepts of wild magic to
what page is that on the Tome of Magic?
Oh, you would ask me that because the one I have doesn't have pages.
It starts on page 4. That particular
you.
thing is on page 5.
Thank you, Crispy.
Thank you, Crispy. Yes, wild magic. And wild mages, well, it's exactly what it says on the tin there.
Mm-hmm.
They're wild. Their magic is unpredictable, and they see this as a plus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they try to use chaos to their advantage.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's believe it or not, it's a playable subclass.
Yes, it is. It's like another specialist.
And there is, get this, I've never seen this in a class or subclass before. No restrictions on alignment at all.
No. Which is kind of funny. I mean, I would probably, personally, considering I would probably put this as neutral or chaotic.
But they do restrict the race.
Mm-hmm.
Only humans, elves, and half-elves.
Mm-hmm.
Gnomes have some magical talent, but lack the broad base of skills and knowledge necessary to master the new field. And dwarves, forget it.
Yeah. Dwarves are highly resistant to magic to begin with.
That's right.
Dwarven.
And they go up at the wizard experience levels tables and the spell progression tables of a normal wizard.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now,
go ahead.
As a specialist mage, like all specialist mages, they can memorize one extra spell per level.
Mm-hmm.
And it must be a wild magic spell, though it can be from any school.
Mm-hmm.
They have here's another thing that's unique. They have no opposition schools
at
all.
Yeah. So basically it's like a generalist mage plus this. Plus crazy.
He gets a 10% bonus to learn a wild magic spell and a minus 5% penalty when learning other spells.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also since this is fast and loose, wild mages can research new spells as if they were one level less difficult.
Right.
Because they're basically shooting from the hip.
Yep. Yeah, they're just going with it.
Yeah.
But the one thing, and I think this is what attracts most players to play wild mages, aside from people just wanting to play do crazy crap, is that certain magic items they have a chance to control, like a wand of wonder,
right?
Which is like the ultimate crapshoot magic item there is.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. I have in my Castle Amber rewrite one of the Amber family's a mage. She's crazy. She's chaotic, neutral, and alignment. I might even go back and make her a wild mage just for the hell of it. But one of the things that she does when the party encounters her is that she'll trail them invisibly, and she's got a wand of wonder on her. And if the party gets into a combat with other denizens or a random encounter or whatever, she'll actually sit back and start firing her wand of wonder at the party and the combatants just to see what happens.
And these wild mages have a 50% chance of controlling it, which is the best you're going to get.
Yeah, well, of course. 50-50, yeah. And like I said, there are, and not only the wand of wonder, but like Amulet of the Plains, Bag of Beans, Bag of Tricks, Decks of Illusions, the Deck of Many Things. Can you imagine that? Let's put it this way. In my Castle Amber rewrite, I actually put a Deck of Many Things in there. If somebody came in as a wild mage, they turn it upside down completely. The Well of Many Worlds.
Straw?
I mean, all of these items that run off of almost complete random chance, they have a 50% chance of controlling it.
Yeah, because that's their thing. They like to roll the dice.
Yes, they are the ultimate risk takers, yes.
Okay, and when they throw a spell, they got a nice little chart here in the Tome of Magic.
Yep.
You have to roll on every time they throw a spell and see if it's the level of the spell they want.
Mm-hmm.
And not only is it the spell they want, but say they're casting just a fireball at their 3rd level. It may go off at 6th level.
Yes.
It may go off at 1st level.
Yeah,
you
may
don't
just go
know.
Poof.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you roll, if the chart shows is if it's a difference in level and shows a bold face, then you get to roll in the wild search results table.
Yes, the wild surge. Yes.
Yes.
This is the craziest thing.
Oh, yes. From bubbles coming out of the caster's mouth to polymorphing randomly. I remember there was one that makes your feet grow like 3 feet.
Yeah. Or one of my better ones is the caster smells like a skunk for the duration of the spell.
Yes. Anyway.
I mean, it's craziness.
If you can handle it, they're a lot of fun. If you can't, well, you might want to discourage some people from it.
Yeah, let's put it this way. This is one of those where I have to take a hand in it and say I have to take the player of the mage into account. Now, if he's going to play a wild mage, shall I say responsibly? I hate to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. If he's going to play it responsibly and not always try to go for the wild
stuff.
surge, then it's cool. I have no problem with it. But if he's just out there just to completely just, throw a screwball into the game, and basically at some point the character's going to hold up 2 signs, one with a screw and one with a baseball. Then I'm going to have to say no.
Well, you got to watch these guys anyway.
What they
play, but especially as a wild mage. Crispy, you ever have any experience with wild mage, or is this the first time you heard of it? Haven't you?
No, I know what wild mages are. Like, I used to read the Forgotten Realms books back in the day. But I don't know. I've never really seen the appeal of it. Like, it looks like it was fun. It would be maybe fun to play, but it also looks like it would be kind of a headache to have someone in your game play.
That's my experience.
And it looks like it's a lot more bookkeeping. Like, here's a whole nother table for the level variation that I'm going to have to, have on hand, and another table that I'm going to have to reprint in some way to do for the wild mage surge or wild surges, and it's just more bookkeeping than I want. I also don't I'm not a big fan of splat books, and the less I can reference a book, the better. And I don't want to have a whole nother book.
There's nothing wrong.
I can see that.
Yeah, you can take 2E and cut it down. That's no problem.
Yeah, but I like 2E better than 1E until you start. Like, I've talked to Brian about this on the forums. I've mentioned it. I like 2E better than 1E. I think it's better put together. I think that it's more streamlined. But friggin' splat books, man. And I hate 3.5 for the same reason. It's like,
yeah, that's the funny part.
Here's power creep.
It was more like power marathon.
Yeah,
it was 3, and I'm not edition bashing when I say that.
I'm allowed to edition bash because I play 3.5.
Well,
so have I. I mean,
we
call in Champions we call it the arms race.
Yeah, exactly. It's like in 3.5. Like, if you talk to any min-maxing, optimizing 3.5 players, or anyone who plays with expanded material, fighter sucks, monk sucks, and Wizards of the Coast, oh yeah, these people are right. The Druid's the best class. So let's go ahead and not fix this other class. Let's release a whole nother book that fixes these broken classes by introducing more powerful classes.
Well, see, that was the whole thing. It didn't fix it. It created more problems for the DM specifically.
And the reason I don't really there's a really cool kit ideas, but I don't like that a lot of times you don't give up anything, but you get a lot. Or the ratio of giving up to getting always seems kind of skewed.
Yeah. I think the only time that they really fixed that, but you know what? I mean, in the case of, taking disadvantages to gain more advantages and things like that, I didn't particularly like it either.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah, because unless the DM is really good at enforcing it, it can just fall by the wayside, and just the player can just get away with, whatever they got in exchange for what they gave up.
It also it breeds min-maxing and optimizing, which is something I don't like.
Okay. It sounds it's their attempt at balance.
But it's my attempt at making the game, because I've had games where there's an optimizer and everyone else is playing with like core stuff, and they're playing with like stuff from a bunch of different source books that they've culled, and it's like, okay, now I have to make the game twice as difficult for everyone else except this person, because now it's just normal difficult.
Yeah. I got this book here. Can I play this? Yeah.
Sure, that sounds okay at first glance. Oh no, my game, it's being destroyed.
Then next time, no, you can't play that.
Exactly. So I've got like a pretty strict no source books rule in my thing. Like, if a player wants to do something different, I'll work with them, but like I'm always a little wary.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. This is just like a whole new subsystem that will only work with one character that I really just don't want to deal with.
Yeah, you're not playing a game for one person.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
You're playing for as many people as they're there, and see, that's where a lot of people kind of lose sight of the whole thing. Everybody's there to get together, play the game, socialize, have a good time. That can't be overstated, actually. Mm-hmm. And when you skew the game towards one play, or the game gets skewed towards one player, everybody else suffers, or at least that's my experience in theory.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that.
By the way, one more thing, Glenn. One more thing.
Yeah.
When Crispy and I were saying these things about 3rd edition 3.5, we aren't edition bashing. We're more WotC bashing, because the other reason they came out with so many splat books for the different classes and everything else was to make money. Mm-hmm. That was the original goal. It wasn't so much to, quote unquote, fix the game or make a character class more appealing as much as it was to line their pockets.
We want to be a business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not edition bashing, because like I don't like it in 3rd or 2nd edition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or even 1st, like the Dungeoneer's Survival Guide and Unearthed Arcana.
Okay. Well, wild mages, can you take them? Can you leave them? Do you use them in your game? Do you say no way in hell? Let us know at thacoshammer@gmail.com, and Crispy will get right back to you, telling you why you're wrong.
Mm-hmm. I did that earlier on the forums. Like, while you guys were talking, I was typing up a response to something. Forum.
Somebody was wrong on the internet again.
Someone was wrong on the internet. I had to let them know that they were.
Let me see.
And I like to do it as sarcastically as I can. And like,
what do you mean? Why would you say, "Are you on drugs"?
Am I on drugs? I'm not on drugs.
No, it's so you were answering and going, "Are you on drugs?" That's
what are you smoking and not sharing with the class?
I forgot. Crispy is the gaming watchdog of the internet. Yes.
Yeah. It's like people are like, "Oh, rust monsters can affect other metals that aren't made of iron." I'm like, no.
Specifically,
rust is literally iron.
Yep.
Yes.
That means steel.
Yeah. My final thing is like, so yeah, science. And there's quotes from Wikipedia.
Wow.
I bolded out the part.
Oh wow! I have
take that, Dragon's Foot. No, sorry. Anyway, before we go completely crazy, we come to the end of another show.
Yes, we have.
If we ever get out of here alive with Crispy out around us.
Yeah.
So, okay, though. I guess that's it until next time. Brian, you want to say bye?
Bye-bye.
Okay, Crispy, the watchdog, can you say bye-bye for us?
Only you can take a bite out of that.
Awesome.
And I'm DM Glenn, getting away from this craziness for a while, saying we'll see you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer. Oh, my God.
THACO's Hammer theme is provided by the Diablo Swing Orchestra. You'll find them on Jamendo.com. All other additional music for this episode was provided by Kevin MacLeod. You'll find more of his music on Incompetech.com. Be sure to visit our website at thacoshammer.info. If you have any questions or comments, email us at thacoshammer@gmail.com. Remember, that's an O, not a 0. You can also find us on the second edition forums at osrgaming.org and at purpleworm.org. Or give us a call and leave us a voicemail at 405-806-0555. See you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer.